Hello and welcome to another JDS Meow Kitty gaming video. In this video we're going to be looking at day 7 and 8 of the Invictus 2953. It's the Consolidated Outland, Tumbril, Origin Jumpworks, RSI and Argo Astronautics. Okay, I'm going to be honest, someone made a comment on my previous video. They're saying that wasn't this a couple of months ago? And they're right. So, working full time. I've got a couple of kids, and I got sick, and I couldn't record any audio. So I'm just playing a bit of catch up. If anyone wants to search for this day, then the footage is out there, and they can enjoy it. And there's always chapters in my videos. So they can jump to whatever part they want to see. So I guess I'll talk in past tense this time. Come out to the gallery here, and we have the hologram showing that it's the Tumbril, Consolidated Outland, Origin Jumpworks, RSI and Argo. So first of all, we'll come around to the side and we will have a look at what's on display on the screen.
Its prey never stood a chance.
We have a caterpillar being taken out of Quantum by a Mantis. I haven't flown the Mantis much.
Maybe you're into touring the galaxy's more out of the way destinations.
Yeah, the Origin ships are nice and sleek.
Or you're known for your
This is
speed and
the
tenacity.
300i, I think.
You always deliver. Perhaps you're a peacemaker.
It all looks a bit smaller. Maybe it's the 100.
Whatever calls to you. Choose your lifestyle. With the 100 series.
Yeah, it's the 100 series. They're a little fragile, a little bit slow. Okay, we'll head up to the top of the stairs and check out the map. We have the Aurora LN, the Constellation series, the new Lynx Rover and the Ursa Rover, the RSI Mantis, RSI Scorpius, the Mustang Delta, the 325A, 125A from Origin, the Argo Personnel Troop Carrier, and then downstairs in the dungeon we have the Tumbril Nova, the Cyclone variants, and the concept ships. What are we going to check out first? This is a Scorpius. It's a two cruise ship. One manned the turret that you can retract to the back of the ship or out the front, and the other one pilots. They can control it. Another 4 guns, I believe. The wings come out like the famous X-wing. And you can see the 4 missile pods on each side underneath there. And we'll head on to the Mantis. It's a relatively small ship, fairly underpowered, but it has the capability of pulling other players out of Quantum and then stopping them from going back into Quantum and escaping. So it's more of a pirate ship. This one's great because it's got an interior. The lift takes you up inside, and there's a bed that you can sleep in, and so I guess you can camp out in the middle of nowhere and then just log back in and catch people. But you really need to have someone with you, unless you catch a prospector on its own or something. Having a bit of trouble getting up. There's the call button all the way up there. You got a drink dispenser. A couple of screens on the wall there. There's the cockpit up the front, pilot seat, and a bed to log in. It's got pretty good visibility out the front. I much prefer ships with an interior where you can stand up and walk around. But they tend to be a little bit slower. Now we'll check out the Constellation series. The Phoenix is the one that really stands out from the other variants because it has the whole luxury section. The Taurus is just a cargo variant, so just has a bigger cargo bay, which is quite nice. And the Andromeda has more missiles. And then there's the Aquila, which has radar capabilities. Had a bit of trouble getting the ramp to go up then. So at first I didn't realise the Phoenix had this cargo bay. It's sort of hidden away. At least when you're up at the top, you'll see what I mean there. Call the lift down. I quickly have to jump out of the way because I'm going to get squashed. I couldn't tell whether it was up or down. And here we have the luxury passenger cruiser. At the back we have a small compartment where you can store some things, the components, and then you've got the Merlin ship out the back that you can undock with and go into combat if you need to. You have the double bed off to the side. You can see out the window. On the other side, you have a couple of panels that you can open up. Not sure what this little room's for. Standing around and having some drinks while looking out the windows. I don't know. A little conference table. Got a bar, fridge. Quite a lot of spirits there, some waters. And we've got some nice comfortable seats where you have a table there and you can watch TV. Looks like you can play some cards. Some more seats. This would be great once they bring in the passenger transportation. A couple of beds for the extra passengers. And then you head up to the staff area. So it's a bit more rugged up here. Still looks nicer than the other variants. You've got 4 bunks. That's your lift where you can get out. There's a table and a toilet and shower. Some avionics. There's some turrets if you get attacked. Upper turret and lower turret. The middle seat is the pilot seats and the 2 side seats are the co-pilot. Now we'll head down the lift. I won't go into detail with the other variants. They're all very much the same, but more rugged. Yes, the Aquila has the radar on the top turret. And then we have the Taurus. So this is one of my favorite ships because it has the double-sized cargo bay. You can fit more vehicles on it, and the front bottom turret has tractor beams, and that's going to be really interesting when they implement that. Being able to pick up components and put them into the cargo bay. The downside is it doesn't have the Merlin docked at the back, the snub, but instead it has a shielded cargo bay. And the Andromeda has additional missile arm racks that come out the side. Now we'll check out the Aurora LN. Everyone should be quite familiar with this ship. My first ship was the Aurora MR, and I really quite liked it. It's got a bed, and it's got a little bit of area to stand up and put some boxes in. And when you're facing right at other ships, it's actually quite a small target to hit. But when they brought in the atmospheric changes, flight changes, the Aurora really struggles in atmosphere now. So I prefer the Alpha for combat, and now you can put cargo boxes in that. So now we have the Antares, the EMB quantum jamming variant of the Scorpius. It's quite a controversial one, this one. It's the co-pilot literally just presses 2 buttons. Now, I didn't realize the Scorpius had this. You got a couple of gun racks that you can deploy, because eventually they're going to make it so you can't sit in your pilot seat while you're wearing armor and carrying guns. I believe that's the plan. So you have to stow your guns underneath in the rack to get into your seat. What are we going to check out next? That's alright, I went to check out the other Scorpius, see why I didn't notice the gun rack. I'm having a bit of trouble deploying the gun rack. I think I have to rent it first, then I might be able to interact with it properly. Oh yeah, there you go, there's a little access button. Gotta press that. And down it comes. And you grab your guns, go into combat. We'll head on down into the basement. And once again, this gallery is just littered with NPC characters. They're all over the place. Really affects you for your frames. So we have the Nova, Tumbril Nova, the tank. It's pretty obvious it's a tank. That panel doesn't want to work, but yes, it's a Nova tank. Now, I'd really love to see a ground vehicle with a bed. Every single ground vehicle just has, seats, gun racks, turrets, interior. But, you'd take so long to get to places when you're on the ground that you'd really like to be able to just log out whenever, or find a really good, an attack position, a covert attack position, and then log out, come back a bit later, and hopefully you haven't been blown up, and can continue on. These are the Cyclone variants. Some have anti-air, gun turrets, Gatling guns. Some are for racing. The RN is for racing. All the wheels are kind of acted a bit weird. Now we'll check out the concept ships. First off, the Argo SRV. Couple of round tractor panels on the front, I believe. You can see the other hologram coming through the wall. Don't think it's supposed to be doing that. Just hovering off to the side. Some thrusters out. Oh, that's the front, I think. That was the cockpit. And we come around to the next concept ship. We have the RSI Polaris. I think there's quite a lot of people waiting for this one to come out. There's a big turret on the front there. Looks like it's going to be a pretty big ship. Big thruster jets out the back. May it have 6. Turret mounted on the top rear. I wonder what these little things are sticking out the side there. The turret on there. The front underneath. Move on to the next concept chip. Looks like another big one. That's a big turret on the front there. The RSI Perseus. Perseus? That docking port at the front.
The UEE Navy's small but elite group of vehicle operators trained for a variety of operations. But for their combat
Not much to
search
see
and
there. Another docking port maybe?
Marine military personnel who are invited to
Or maybe it's an airlock.
train on the hostile environments of Korea.
The turret mounted at the back. Turret at the top there. 4 thrusters on the back. And I guess that's the bridge up the top there. Looking out the front. Now onto the Tumbril.
Origin jump works might not seem like the most obvious
The Tumbril Ranger. I think a lot of people are looking forward to this one. To this this motorbike, I guess you'd call it. The hover bikes are just, the hovering just doesn't really work very well. The hover quad gets sent up into the sky and blows up on things. This would be pretty awesome when it comes out. It'd be a lot easier to get into things. It'd probably fit into the Titan without blowing up. And then we have the T-pose man. This is the Tumbril Storm. It's not too far off being released, this one, I hope. It's quite a large tank. You've got mortars on the side, a big turret at the top there. I think you can store things in the side panels. They lift up. Reminds me a lot of the Mammoth tank on Command and Conquer. And you can open up the other side as well. Mortars on the back. Now we'll check out the last concept ship for this day. This is the origin version of a ground vehicle, a combat vehicle. Yeah, I'm not sure about this one. It's got all the sleek lines of the origin ships. Rocket pod on the back. Not sure what it's a capability that it's going to have, whether it's going to be really fast or not. Now we're going to check out the next showroom. We have the Mustang ships off to the left. The Origin 300 and 100 in the middle. And then the little tiny weeny Argo personnel carrier, which seems to have no use in the game right now. You can't quantum. There's no beds for bed logging. I think you're supposed to be able to detach this pod on the back so you could easily and quickly deploy troops. Bobbing up and down. Yeah, so everyone just sits in this pod here. The pilot will go into a capital ship. Everyone will get on board. They'll fly to another ship and transport over. Okay, let's head over to the Origin ships. Now, this is the 125A, but the 125C has a ramp out the back, so you can store a few extra things. Inside, the 100 series, it's easy to get on board. You just drop the stairs down and walk on in. There's a couple of panels at the back, and you can put a few boxes. The bed and a cockpit seat. 300 series has a little ramp at the back there, so you can store a few boxes externally. And if you want to get into this one, you have to get it to open the door and deploy the ladder. It's taking a little bit long there. So this is just an added step to getting in and out. So if you're doing a lot of delivery box missions, it can be a little bit tedious. But across from here you have a toilet. There you go, open that up. The bed off to the left, kitchen off to the right. Little storage compartment so you can store some items. The fridge. And the cockpit seat up the front. So we'll exit the ship again. Have to wait for the door to open up, ladder to come down. You can just open the door and then just run out if you want to. That's not the proper way. There you go. It wouldn't automatically climb down the ladder, so that's what I did. Now you don't want to accidentally close this compartment while you're standing on it, because you can't, or at least I couldn't last time. I couldn't open up the ramp again, so I had to respawn. Next, we have, this is the Delta. Yep, so next we have the Mustang Delta. I quite like how nimble these are in an atmosphere, and they can have a bit of firepower once they're decked out. But the Beta variant is the only one that has a bed in it. The Alpha has a cargo compartment in the back, but the Delta just has the pilot seat. There's quite a lot of visibility in the cockpit, so you can see quite well. And it's a relatively cheap ship to buy compared to other variants. And now it's extremely laggy in the middle here. We're going to check out the Lynx and the Ursa Rover. A lot of people. Now I'm pretty sure there's something wrong with the wheels on this vehicle. I don't think they'll work that well with the rubber hanging 6 inches lower than it should be. Yeah, there's something wrong with that. There's a turret on the side there that you can deploy over the top, and then you can aim out the front. That you can rotate it 360, so should be able to go in every direction. Not quite sure what the point is of stowing it down the side there, unless you can fit it into lower roof ships. I'll close the door and see what it looks like. Open it back up again. And then straight across you have some panels there with some little buttons that you can press to open them up or close them. There's a compartment shelf. On the left here, some more compartments. And then on the right, let's try that again. There's the gun rack. Close those up again. And open up that one. There's a computer screen there. I'm not sure what language that is. C#. couple of water bottles. And there's a couple of seats at the back there for people to sit down in. With a table. I'm not quite sure what the purpose of this vehicle is. I'm not sure who you will be transporting around in these two seats. Unless you get ground-based NPC transportation contracts. I don't think anyone as a player would just sit back there and stare at a screen. But yeah, I like the concept. Let's see what they do with it in regards to contract missions. In the front compartment, we have the cockpit. There's a passenger seat. They can man the turret or remote operate the turret, and the driver's seat. Hop in the driver's seat. Let's have a look around the dashboard. What buttons do we have? Self-destruct. There we go, power it on. There's a few blue triangles. Whoa. That's a lot of NPC characters walking around. That explains the low frame rate, that's for sure. Put them all down in the dungeon. There's a whole heap near the entrance. Let's turn that off. Because it's really pushing my system to the limits. Come on, turn off. There we go. And we'll get out of that before I see some more blue triangles. Let's head out. What's that at the door there? Do not obstruct. Was it fire extinguisher maybe? And we have the Ursa Rover. Oh, and there, someone's turning it into a DDR, Dance Dance Revolution. The Ursa Rover is more of a troop carrier. It doesn't have a turret on the top, but it has some seats in the back there where you can also put the boxes down in the back. That's basically my go-to for transporting boxes around. So that concludes day 7 and 8 of the Invictus 2953. And yes, it was 2 months late, but at least I've given people the opportunity to search it up and have a look. They missed it. There's quite a few ships that I enjoy from this day. I'm going to have to check out the Mantis a bit more, and I might aim towards getting a Phoenix. And the Lynx has a lot of potential. So if you enjoyed the video, or you found it helpful, please hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in a future video. Now let's see whether these guys want to give me a bottle of water again. We're all standing pretty much where they were before. Hello? Hello? No. Still nothing.